I tried my hardest not to think about salary. It was so depressing.
I know someone specifically. She works every extra job she can get. She drives Uber.
Teachers are being left behind.
We aren't, paying our best teachers enough to stay.
We don't want people to leave this profession or not be involved in this profession simply because they can't make a living wage. That's a shame.
Texas school districts fighting to fill vacancies and keep educators who are leaving the profession over low pay. Investigator Kelly Wiley joins us again after obtaining teacher exit forms.
Yes, and one after the other, it shows teachers are leaving the profession unable to pay their rent, unable to pay their mortgages on a teacher's salary.
My name is Mark Reed, and I was a former teacher at Murchison Middle School.
In 2021, with a few weeks left before the start of the school year, Mark Reed quit his job. On his resignation form, he told the Austin Independent School District it was economically infeasible to continue working on a teacher's salary.
As long as I could pay the bills, I was fine, but as soon as I started not being able to pay the bills, then I...
Mark isn't the only one by far. We looked at exit surveys from several school districts across Texas, with teachers saying they're seeking higher paying jobs, that they can't afford to live or keep their homes, can't afford to live in city limits, pay their surging rents, and are taking on extra jobs to make ends meet. The average base salary for Texas public school teachers between the fall 2020 and fall 2021 school years went up 2%. Meanwhile, from 2021 to 2022, the average cost of a home in Texas surged 21%. The same researchers found Austin and Dallas were the two most expensive places to own a home in Texas.
Dan Huberty, State Representative, District 127, Humble, Texas.
What do you think when you hear that so many teachers are resigning across the state at a high rate?
We've been struggling with this for many, many years. It's a big concern, right?
This is a contract abandonment form. We read to State Representative Dan Huberty the multiple contract release forms where teachers said they could not afford the climbing cost of living. What solutions are on the table to fix that issue?
But we have, and I'm not saying it's completely fixed. We put billions of dollars back into the system over the last several years. We did significant increases in pay for teachers in 2019. Teachers have been continuing getting teacher pay increases. We have the teacher incentive allotment that's been identified. The teachers can get up to $30,000 more a year. I mean, all those programs exist. We need the districts and the teachers to participate. Right?
The teacher incentive allotment is not the same, though, as a district increasing base salaries or giving year-over-year raises. It requires teachers to do extra work and be evaluated to get the raise. But TEA records show fewer than 2% of teachers are participating in the program statewide.
I was never interested in jumping through any more hoops. And I always felt like the only opportunity for a bump in pay had to do with jumping through other hoops. And I just didn't have the bandwidth to do anything extra.
You're saying in 2019, you didn't notice a big surge in your pay that made life easier?
No. 2000 when? 19?
2019 is when they...
Yeah, I do remember a nice bump there. And it was helpful. It wasn't nothing. It was definitely helpful. It didn't keep me in the... the proof's in the pudding. I'm not a teacher anymore, so it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Since 2019, state lawmakers have not approved additional funding for raising teacher wages.
They're going to have to spend more money because there's not going to be enough teachers. The question is, are you going to spend just enough to get it back to where it was, or are you going to really solve the problem?
And this seems like it's a loss, honestly.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Because how many years did you spend?
12 years.
12 years.
13 in the district, so a year as a TA and then 12 years of teaching. A lot of times people will say, well, if you have the passion to teach, if you have that calling, then the salary shouldn't matter as much. And to that, I'm adamantly against that idea. Those things have to coexist in all careers. You're either happy with what you do as a career and you can pay the bills, or you're happy with your career and you can't pay the bills, or you're unhappy with your career and you can pay the bills or you can't, right? There's 4 options there.
While state lawmakers do have some impact on teacher salaries through legislation, it is up to school districts to build on state-mandated salary minimums for teachers. 3 school districts in our area, Lomita ISD, Mason ISD, and Richland Springs ISD, use the minimum starting salary set by the state, nearly $34,000. While Maynard, Del Valle, and Dripping Springs ISD have the highest starting salaries in our area, between nearly $54,000 and nearly $55,000.
So districts are in a bind. Teachers are dropping out mid-school year, but those districts are also being asked to comply with a tall task.
It's another unfunded mandate by the state. You're going to do this.
What lawmakers and state leaders are promising to do to keep teachers, coming up.